so we do have a quorum and we can move into our agenda. So let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so you guys are gonna have to bear with us tonight. We do not have Wi-Fi, so we're gonna be doing this thing off of our phones and small screens. So just bear with us. We'll struggle through it together. First up, we got our minutes for August 18th. That was a regular commission meeting minute. So we just need a motion to approve if everything looks good.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as posted. I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to approve the minutes as written. Any discussion on that? We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Motion carries. All right, commissioners report. Kyle, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Been doing a lot of meetings, talking with people. We got a lot of things going on in the background. A few items will be brought up later on in the new business agenda. The one thing I do want to talk to everyone about is we do have regarding the tree committee. We do have tree planting at the Tioga Dam. There are a few bulletin flyers out here on the table. If you like some, you could take a couple. I can print a few more out if we need. But tentatively, we are looking to do it September 11th through the 14th. So Thursday and Friday, we're looking to go from 6 to 9. Saturday will be from 9 to 9 p.m. And then Sunday will be from 1 p.m. till we're finished. We have 48 trees to plant. If we get a lot of help, we might get done in 2.5 days, or it might be done in 3 days. It just kind of all depends. But we'll have to, the holes will be already pre-dug and predetermined where they're going to be placed. There's certain trees that need to go in certain spots. So we'll have people in charge of that. We'll have to refill the hole back up, make sure it's the correct depth, so on and so forth, stake it down, all that stuff. But so if you'd like to be a part of this, there is a sign up sheet at City Hall, and there's also a sign up sheet down at the community center. You also can call me, text me, talk to Dan. We can sign you up, whatever it may be. If you only want to help with part of it, that's fine. We'll still take all the help we can get. If you have any questions, you can talk to me afterwards, call me. My number is on the flyer. And go from there. So I got, thanks.
Not too much on my end. There is one item, I guess, that would pertain to my department. That's under new business, so we'll go over it. But other than that, pretty quiet.
For me, I think the name of the game for this week is we started interviews for our community center opening. They've started off pretty darn awesome, so it's going to be really excited to see where we end up and have that path forward. Just mind you, we are pretty short-staffed right now, and we probably aren't going to know until the next meeting if we put an offer together and a request for hire. So we may have to put together a special meeting. So don't clear your schedule, but just be on the lookout for that. That might be later this week, early next week. And additionally, since I got my soapbox for a couple minutes, I think I'm going to use it. There's been, I don't do social media, right? So I don't really know what's going on with talk of the town and all that unless people talk to me directly, but I've been getting a lot of screenshots as of late from folks saying that we aren't supporting our city of Tioga employee base appropriately. Now, normally I would give a scathing rebuke of all that because I know that's not true. I know how much time you guys put in with the employees, and it's a baseless claim. I'm not going to go that far tonight. I was pretty irritated going into this. My heart really got softened up when we did our interviews today. Thank goodness. But I will say that if identifying how we treat employees, whether they're appreciated or supported or not, has very little to do with how much money we're gonna shove at a department, right? We still have responsibility to be fiscally responsible to the community. We are always gonna do that. We are always gonna support our city employees. I mean, they are the best of the best here. I mean, that's what grinds the gears of the city, right? Without them, we don't operate. And I know that's not true with any of you guys. But I do want it to be on your radar that we need to support these guys as very best as we can. Like I said, that doesn't mean we're gonna shove every last dollar we have towards a specific department. I don't think throwing money at something answers all the problems, right? But emotionally, mentally, we are gonna support, we are gonna help, and I just wanna make sure that everybody understands that, and we can keep the comments on social media as just that. They're just baseless comments, because that's what I feel they are. So that's all I have on my end.
I don't really have anything for this week. Excuse me. So I'm hoping next week or our next meeting to have a couple new things for you guys, but as of right now, I don't have anything new. Thank you.
All right, guys, modifications or approval of the agenda. Motion and a second to approve the agenda as written. Move to a vote.
Yes.
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 Okay, motion carries. We are on to old business. Liz, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me all right?
You can.
Perfect. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to be very brief tonight. I would anticipate, much like Commissioner Dye, that I'll probably have greater updates. We'll certainly have greater updates at the next meeting. Been a lot going on kind of behind the scenes. We will be hosting a few depositions tomorrow in Tioga. I want to thank Wendy for helping arrange all that. She's been extremely helpful and accommodating. That relates to the litigation surrounding the streets issue, roller coaster road, if you will. Making progress. I will just update that I know I asked the commission what your feelings were about a continuance, and I did indicate back to council that we had some pretty grievous concerns about that. Thus far, I can't rule it out, but I will tell you that there's been no motion for a continuance made, so we're still on track for the trial date as was set. So I'll keep you posted should that move. I guess I'm with the commission president on that one. I hear scuttlebutt occasionally through different channels. The most important feature, I guess, of that to me is just to make sure that it's understood by the employees that, you know, if there are issues, you should absolutely reach out to your commissioner. I know that social media is a really common place for people to rant and rave and offer opinions, and we all have First Amendment rights to do that, and that's just fine. But I would say that if there's a perceived problem, the place you go is to your supervisor, and then that failing to a commission member. And for what it's worth, I've worked with every commissioner on the board, and every single commissioner that I've worked with has been extremely responsive when called upon. So I don't know exactly what's being said. I'm not going to investigate that. I hear rumblings, but for what it's worth, the city does very much support its employees and personnel. And I tell you, the best way to reach a commissioner is to pick up a phone and call them or go meet with them, because shuffling that stuff through social media is just not a very good communicative tool. Anyway, I will be ready to help with the balance of the agenda tonight. Expect many updates in the next meeting or two, but for this evening, I think that's my 2 cents.
Hey, thanks, Liz. Guys, any questions for Liz?
No.
Okay, all good here. Thank you. All right, moving on. Josh, you're up. So that mic doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't.
It'll pick you up though.
Okay. Just gotta talk loud. No problem. Okay, few items for this evening. Start with the Clomer. So last correspondence we had with the team doing the review there and issuance of the Clomer eventually here. was Wednesday last week. They had indicated, they were hopeful to have it out by the end of last week or soon after is essentially what they indicated. So we haven't received anything yet. I did reach out to them Friday and have not heard any further update there. So still, I guess, kind of on, somewhat in the hands of their timeline. We'll keep pressure on them to hopefully keep that moving forward. North, any questions on that? North Main Street reconstruction. So that project, we kind of did a preliminary correction period walkthrough on that earlier this year. The correction period will be up here later on this month, but there were a few items that we had identified. Two of them were related to a couple driveway aprons that are spalling. So they're, I guess, the general contractors, subcontractors, kind of giving them a little pushback on that. Kind of blaming it on salt potentially. I have a differing opinion on that. So I did indicate to them, I guess, if they don't want to, or if they're, contesting that, they can do some testing of that where they would do a core of the concrete itself and kind of do an analysis of that. We've experienced similar things in the past where it was blamed on salt, but they went and did a core, and the geotechnical firm can do an analysis of the full envelope of the concrete. In previous cases, it's been, the concrete dried out to the top, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch dried out too quick, and that's kind of the cause. I guess to be determined there, but it was pretty warm when they were pouring a lot of that concrete, upper 80s into the 90s last year. So I wouldn't rule that out as a pretty likely cause of that. So, they're kind of working towards getting that lined up, I guess, for confirmation of what's going on there. Beyond that, there was some seeding. I think that was pretty well lit that they were gonna touch up here as we moved into some cooler temperatures. As planting in the heat of summer isn't ideal. So, any other questions on that project? Next item then is the DWSRF and CWSRF update questionnaires. So it's drinking water and clean water state revolving fund program. That's a program through the state where they offer lower interest to 2% loans for sewer and water infrastructure replacement projects, or storm sewer as well, through the CWSRF program. So those are due here in October and November coming up. I did attach the submittals from last year. Essentially the water main, we have approximately 25 blocks that's kind of out there as potential to be replaced in the future, and then about 35 blocks of aging sewer that would be out there for potential replacement. These programs are this questionnaire is a project it's not committing to a loan, but it's saying that we have these projects out here. At some point, we may look to secure financing through these programs. So I guess with that, this question would be if you want to remain on the list, and if so, we'll just essentially just make some minor updates and get them submitted.
What do you think, guys?
Probably should just do updates. Agreed. Stay on the list probably would be the best course.
Yeah, there's no harm in
Yep.
staying on it. Like I said, you're not committing to anything. Okay, we will stick with that. I guess the last item I had was just gonna kind of check in to see if there's any projects that you're potentially looking at for next year that you'd like us to help out with. If there is, probably we get to sit down and have some discussions and whatnot before winter sets in to get survey work and whatnot done. So I had a snow flying or something out there. So
I think we should build a softball field.
I think next year, I think it'll get done next year.
Okay, all good?
That's it.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we got community center update, substantial completion certificate. Now, Wendy, what do we need to do with this? I know there's some remaining work. Is that the intent in this? I don't see anybody with FCI here.
Yeah, this is just the kind of the final, that the majority of it is, he still included his punch list here, so you're just agreeing to that, noting that there are still these items that need to be done.
Okay. But there's no motion to be made on approving the extra 17,000 worth of work, correct? Okay. So we'll just need a motion to accept the substantial completion certificate. Is that correct?
I'll make a motion to approve the substantial completion certificate.
I second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second to accept the substantial completion certificate. Any discussion on that? This one, 616 is when we made the motion to not exceed 37,650. The final invoice came in at 41,947.19, which is an overage of $4,297.19. So we will need to, I mean, if you agree to it, we'll need to make a motion to approve that invoice in the amount of $41,947.19.
Yeah, make a motion to approve the invoice to Sunhang and Sand and Gravel for $4,297.19.
I'll second.
That was the overage, Kyle. The total was $41,147.19.
My apologies. Yes, that number. $41,947.19.
I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to approve the invoice from Sunhagen in the amount of $41,947.19. Is there any discussion on that? Okay, move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, motion carries. And then same thing with the signal road patching. Bear with me. All right, so the original motion came, this would have been 6/2/25, and that was $42,988. The actual invoice came in at $46,413.26, which is overage of $3,425.26.
I make a motion to approve the quote from Knife River for $46,413.26.
I'll second that.
Okay. We got a motion and a second to approve the invoice from Knife River in the amount of $46,413.26. Is there any discussion on that one? Okay, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Motion carries. All right, moving on to new business. We got the Tioga Airport Authority. They have a board member that resigned. Guys aren't the best, but I see Jeff Mose on there. Jeff, did you plan on presenting that? Okay, well.
No, I didn't,
uh,
Brett. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Tell you what, he's got a very long and well-written resignation letter. I won't read the whole thing for you guys. I trust that you've had a chance to look at it. So we'll just need a motion to accept his resignation if that's the direction you want to go.
Make a motion to approve the resignation of Curtis Van de Sant from the airport board.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve the resignation of Curtis Van de Sant from the board. Any discussion on that? Okay, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. A tough one. Ooh, thank you, guys. Gotta make a motion to advertise for this open spot.
Make a motion, we advertise for the open position on the Tioga Airport Authority Board.
I'll second.
Hey, do we want to put a length on it? Okay. We standard 2-week term?
Open position for a 2-week term.
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second to advertise for our open airport board seat for a duration of 2 weeks. Now, just so you guys know, that'll hit the Williston Herald on the 6th, so that'll stay open until the 20th. Is there any discussion on that? Still good? Okay, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And motion carries.
Hey, Brett,
Yes, sir.
I was just gonna let you guys know that there's a little over 3 years left in that term. So for your guys' advertising sake, it's a little over 3 years left in Curtis's term for that position.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, sir. Okay, noted. Moving on, Tioga PD resignation.
I don't know if this thing's working or if it's just my voice all over the, like a little louder. So I have a letter of resignation here. In essence, it says, "Dear City of Tioga Commissioners, residents of the Tioga community, fellow Tioga City employees, and most important, my Tioga PD staff. It is a heavy heart that I tender my resignation as your Chief of Police for the Tioga Police Department. My last date of employment with the City of Tioga will be Friday, September 5th, 2025. I kindly ask that any accrued vacation balance be paid out in my final paycheck. I began my career in law enforcement with the Tioga Police Department in May of 2014. Over the last 11 years, I'm grateful and honored to have served the community as a patrol officer, corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, and these last 4 years as the chief of police. My career with the City of Tioga was unique in that it gave me significant opportunities to grow my career early on. During my tenure as chief of police, I made several accomplishments to include regionalizing police dispatch, upgrading our radios to the 800 system, implementation of a new computer-aided dispatch and report management program to better record keep and file share with surrounding agencies, implementation of new robust law enforcement policies through Lexipol, implementation of an officer wellness program through Portico, implementation of an investigation division, which also joining the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, implementation of a soft interview room, implementation of electronic fingerprinting, various equipment upgrades, and most importantly, establishing a stronger working relationship with the Williams County State's Attorney's Office, along with other law enforcement agencies statewide. All of these projects gave me a vision, and with that vision came purpose. I'm proud to have completed my vision and feel a great sense of fulfillment. I want to be clear that my success as your chief of police and the success of the before mentioned accomplishments could not have been done alone. The success of the agency truly reflects the support, dedication, and drive of my staff, paired with the unwavering support of the City of Tioga Commission over the past 4 years. I feel it noteworthy to also outline that the support that I had received from former police commissioner Jessica Steele was also instrumental to my success and the success of the police department. It feels like just yesterday that I was appointed as your chief of police. I proudly display the photo, excuse me. I proudly display the photo of the day I was appointed standing next to my wife Shauna and holding my newborn son Elijah on my iPad. I came home the other day and had to face a hard reality that my newborn son in the photo that I look at every day is now 4 years old. If that wasn't sobering enough, I came to the realization that my second born son turns 3 in November. I can account for all of my above mentioned accomplishments and the blood, sweat, and tears that I've invested into the Tioga Police Department, but I cannot count for the minimal time that I've spent with my 2 sons or the minimal support that I've provided my wife. As I close this chapter and begin a new one, I look forward to the idea of being more present and active in my family's lives. The community can be rest assured knowing that the Tioga Police Department is driven to providing a level of service that is second to none and will maintain the mission of working together for a safer tomorrow. The standards for what is expected of a professional police department in 2025 have been set, and I have no doubt that my team will continue to strive to achieve that excellence. I wish the city of Tioga and the Tioga Police Department the best of luck and success as they forge on into the future. Sincerely and for the last time, Josh Nelson, your Chief of Police.
Well, you guys know what we gotta do, right? Whether you want to or not. Let's get our motions out of the way so we can have some discussion on this, and I wanna do some discussion on it, right?
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation letter from Josh Nelson.
Second that. All right, we got some very subdued motions. We got a motion and a second to accept your resignation letter. We are open for discussion. Jaden, it was your motion, so you can go first if you have anything you'd like to say or talk about.
I'd just like to thank you for your time, and I must say, I truly mean it when I say that you've really brought this department a long way, made a lot of really good improvements, and you've been great to our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephen, your second.
I would also like to say thank you. Over the past few years, I've got to know you, and I can tell you're an amazing guy. You've done a great job with the police department, and you will seriously be missed. So thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Well, I didn't think this day would be coming this soon, I guess, to be honest with you. Thank you for everything you've done, for Tioga over the years. We've kind of had a different dynamic, I guess, from the beginning, but here we are. So thank you for everything you've done, programs you've started, just policies, sit down 1% committee board, all that little added, items, definitely takes up your time, family time, all that, so it's definitely understandable. Thanks for everything and you'll do great.
Thank you.
It will sound like a broken record and relay those thank yous. I'll just tell you something that I've observed, like your job, right, is to keep the community safe. That was your MO coming into this. Obviously, you did that. The reason, I would say the reason that we're all sitting here right now was we wanted to make a meaningful impact on the community. Here's one of the things that I noticed, and I know this is kind of low hanging fruit, but it's something that we've talked about, right? A meaningful impact can mean just about anything. I mean, you've demonstrated that over and over and over again, that you were here to make a meaningful impact to the community, and you did that. But the low hanging fruit I'm talking about was we kind of fall into this little trap of a small thing that we don't fully understand turns into a huge thing that everybody talks about, right? And you probably know where I'm going with this. Those stop signs.
Yeah.
Holy cow, did that cause a riff in town for a while?
Yep.
And then you explained to me what you did or why you put them where you did, right? You were creating a fast track lane for you guys to respond to the school in case the school had a very, very unfortunate event, like a school shooting or something like that. None of us understood. None of us. We all thought stop signs were just going up so we could get more running a stop sign citation or maybe even just slowing traffic. But on a community our size, it just felt weird. It was different. Like us Midwesterners, we don't like change. We never have. And something like a stop sign going up was change. It like threatened what we saw was normal. And then you explained why you did it. And then all of a sudden, stop signs are the greatest thing ever because you were looking out for everybody's kids. Or kids are everything, right? That's one of the reasons why you're taking a different role for your kids.
Mhm.
And what I can say is just going through that process, it helped me realize I needed to do a better job of listening and understanding rather than jumping to conclusion. So on top of all the appreciation I have for you professionally, I want to thank you man to man as a person for helping me turn into a better person. You helped me understand. I've learned from you. You didn't have to befriend me, but you've made this last year and what, a couple months enjoyable. You didn't have to, you did that. You're a good person, and I appreciate you. You don't need good luck, well wishes. You're going to win at anything you do. But Miss Home and PD, you know what to do, right? Pick up the phone and call. We'll have something for you. You're going to do great at everything you do. I'm going to miss you. I know these guys are. You could hear it in their voices. But again, you don't need it. Best of luck. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate the ongoing support and the friendships over the years. It's helped me be able to help serve you guys and the community. So, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve in the capacity I have, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. You know, it's been great.
One more. I think he deserves it. And in true form, you're still not done working, right?
Nah,
You've got a request to extend an offer?
yes, but I think still have a motion on the table.
No, we don't want to. Right, fellas. Done with discussion, right? We still have that motion and a second to accept Josh's resignation letter.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion carries.
Thank you. And yes, we do, we did have we had a vacancy. And so, we conducted a number of interviews this last week. I think we had 4 in total that we interviewed. Of those 4, one was already North Dakota Post Board certified. That's instrumental to us because, that person's already been through the academy. They're already licensed. So really the only thing that they have to go through is our FTO process. They have 1 year experience as a police officer in a smaller community in North Dakota here. So we're looking at extending a conditional offer to Corey Halsey. Part of the conditional offer process he'll have to undergo would be a firearms qualification, background investigation, drug alcohol testing, I think because he's already licensed, he wouldn't have to go through the psychological evaluation because that typically happens to obtain the license on the front end of that. We typically do department physicals as well with hiring, so things of that nature, we can start the process of, going through that to officially onboard him with your approval.
And it's Carrie, right?
I think it's actually pronounced the same Corey.
Corey Halsey?
Yeah, that's what we gathered
That
that
is
day,
correct.
right? Yeah, Corey Halsey.
Okay. I'll make a motion to extend the offer for hire to Corey Halsey.
I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to extend a conditional offer of employment, right? To Corey Hallisey. Is there any discussion on that? Okay, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
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 Okay, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Job. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, unfortunately. Same thing, guys. We need to advertise for a new Tioga chief of police.
I make a motion, we advertise for new chief of police, positional for 2 weeks.
I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to advertise for a chief of police position for the duration of 2 weeks. Again, this will start on Saturday the 6th and run through Saturday the 20th. Okay, any discussion on that? Move to a vote.
Yes.
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 Okay, motion carries. And then, okay, moving on to the community center expansion. Let me break this down for you guys. So
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to adjourn. Move to a vote.
Yes.
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 The motion carries and we are adjourned at 7:43 PM. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.